this race.
Monster run off turn 2.
Can't get it to the high side. Here he comes. There he goes. Oh, no, Kansas saves, and here they come to the line.
I'm a fortune teller who sees the future, and I see it now.
I'm expecting something with Ferrari this weekend, and he ended up at Hendrick somehow.
Oh, God. No, please. Oh, God. I don't like that thought.
Driving to 5.
I can see the goosebumps that just hit Jacob just now.
Carson.
Those were exciting races.
Yeah, we had some good races the past couple weeks. And we couldn't watch one of them.
Did you all manage to see the Toronto race?
No.
Of course not.
I didn't.
Mason, did you? Uh-oh. You're muted.
I'm muted. Nice. It was because I coughed and I didn't unmute. But no, I was able to catch a couple bits and pieces of the race, but I definitely didn't catch the full thing. But little bits here and there.
It would be nice that if we could go over it, but we can't really because of Peacock.
Well, and to make it even worse for you, the whole reason it was on Peacock in the first place was because both NBC and USA were taken up, and one of them was by NASCAR. But NASCAR didn't even end up racing in the first place, and they still chose to keep it on Peacock.
I thought it was because it was on Canada.
No, it shouldn't.
Because the Canadian Grand Prix was no. I mean, that's F1, but I mean. I don't know. Maybe it was because it was in Canada, but I feel like it's a stretch. I feel like it's just because they're trying to promote this platform.
That's probably most likely what it is. And I've seen in some IndyCar groups, people keep saying, "Oh, you need to buy Peacock or you need to subscribe to Peacock because it's worth it," and stop whining about it. It should be on cable or broadcast TV.
Yeah, that bothered me a lot. But either way, Christian Lundgaard got his first IndyCar win. Looked like it was going to be a Dixon dub, like I predicted it would have been. But no, Christian Lundgaard got the win in Toronto, so good for him. I'm going to be honest, that's literally all I've got for Toronto because we did not see much of it. But
he shaved his mustache.
He did. He did shave his mustache like he promised he would in victory lane. Which brings us to this week in Iowa. Josef Newgarden. That man was on I think he had rocket fuel in his car this weekend.
The king of corn country.
Literally. So after this weekend's races in Iowa, he has now won a total of 6 races at Iowa.
Man, he really is the king of corn country. He probably wishes they would race there 4 times this year. He might be leading the championship.
I'm starting to think so. But here's the funny part. Newgarden has won all 4 oval races this year, including the Indianapolis 500.
That's what I was going to say. He's the oval dominator right now. I mean, anytime they go to an oval, it's going to be Josef Newgarden's day. And how many more ovals are left on the schedule?
1. Gateway.
1.
That's next week, isn't it? 2 weeks?
That's
going to be in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We've got Nashville next
That's
week.
Right. Yeah. That's
and
right.
Then the Gallagher Grand Prix. Where's that? Indy Road Course.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, because it's the Indy NASCAR doubleheader.
Yeah, that'll be fun in all the wrong ways.
Imagine the Indy NASCAR doubleheader if NASCAR decided they were going to stop racing on the road course and race on the oval, or if they decided to race on the road course on Saturday and race on the oval on Sunday.
But they won't. Cool. They won't. It'd be awesome, but they won't.
They'd get the best of their both worlds. They wanted to push this Indy road course so bad that it's so gosh darn awful that Shane Van Gisbergen is going to somehow manage to win again. But we'll get to there later.
Yeah,
We'll get to there later. It's okay.
we'll get there later. So either way, Josef Newgarden won both the Saturday and the Sunday IndyCar
What a
race in
beast.
Iowa. Dude, seriously, I don't even know what to say, because that's the first time that I can remember that somebody's done the double. I remember Graham Rahal, I think it was Rahal, doing the Detroit double in a couple years ago, which was his last couple wins to date.
Well, Newgarden in yesterday's race on Sunday led 212 laps.
Yeah.
The day before, he led 129. So this man led 241 laps in 2 days.
Out of 500.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. And yeah, I don't think Alex Palou is going to win the championship easily.
Oh, no.
I think Newgarden's going to come up, and I think it's going to go to the last race of the year.
Fair point. Excuse my math, by the way. I said 243 or whatever. It's 343 is what I meant. Somewhere around there. He led like 300 some laps this weekend. And that might be the fight that I think, and not to say IndyCar's been boring, because it definitely has not been compared to F1. But that fight for the championship, Alex is, it's a mess. He's running. We're running away with it. So,
but now Newgarden
Newgarden has suddenly reappeared. The question is how has he performed on like some of the street courses and stuff? Because if he say he performs well these next 2 weeks, he performs well at Nashville and he performs well at Indy Road Course, he could go into Gateway with a very, very good chance. It may be making this a competition the last few races of the year.
I think Josef Newgarden's the best all-around driver, and just in general, just because he's good at everything. He's won at street courses, he's won at ovals, and he's won at road courses. He's won at every discipline.
He's 80 points back right now.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a little bit of time, but he's got to perform this weekend at Nashville. He's got to give himself a chance when he gets to Gateway. We know he's going to be good at Gateway. He's won all 4 of the ovals this year. He has to put himself in a position to let Gateway be something special for him. Gateway has to be that race, but he has to also have 2 good races leading up to that. It's not just, he had a great race at Gateway, now he's in the running. No, he's got to be consistent these next few weeks. And so by the time we get to Gateway, we'll know whether or not he's got a chance at it or not.
What you're saying is he probably needs to finish on the podium
at every race from now on.
I feel like if he wants to keep pace, I mean, Palou scored 35 points yesterday too, so it's not like it's going to be close. It's going to be really, really close. I mean, it's going to be Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart close if these two end up getting competitive here. But I really think that, Newgarden's going to have to push the issue, and he's going to have to find himself on the podium the next few weeks because he needs to carry momentum into Gateway as well. With the addition of carried momentum going into Gateway, he's going to be absolutely unstoppable. And then we get out of Gateway, and then what are we thinking? How many points is he back after Gateway? That's the thing. He has to have 2-3 good weeks, and he puts his name in this conversation even more, and then this is a race to the finish.
And another thing is that Alex Palou, he's okay on ovals. He's not bad by any stretch, but Newgarden's Newgarden on ovals.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're probably right. He probably does need to finish on the podium for the next few weeks. But at the same time, if anybody can do it, it's Josef Newgarden because He's probably the most calm, cool, and collected one out there, maybe aside from Scott Dixon. I don't ever recall him being angry.
I don't know. Dixon was pretty mad at Pato earlier this year at
No,
Long
I'm talking
Beach.
about Newgarden.
He was pretty mad Saturday.
Yeah, but even then, he didn't let it get to him, and he still won the race. He doesn't he's not hothead, I guess.
He's not 2005 Kurt Busch-esque.
Yeah, or Will Power. But Will Power, he's a hothead in a good way because that fuels him.
He makes it entertaining.
Yeah, that too.
I think the challenge is going to be. I think a big challenge is going to be. We're going into Nashville. We're going into a street race, and that hasn't been Newgarden's cup of tea this year. He hasn't been perfect on a lot of these street races, and those have been the races that he's lost. I would say the most points to Alex Palou. So I mean, you could circle this weekend. The Nashville race coming up is that could be the make or break race. That could be what really makes or break it, because Alex Palou could easily win. And if Alex Palou wins and Newgarden has one of his, a day like his other, days in the past this season when we've been on these street courses, then he's going to fall out of it. So I think the hard part right now is he is at a point where he's 80 points behind. He can't afford to lose points on a race weekend. He cannot afford to walk away from a race weekend and be 87 points back. You know what I'm saying? He's got to take it forward every step. Every week, there has to be a step forward for that team in order for them to have a shot at this. But if they take one step back, they may completely ruin their chances.
That's right. And one thing that may throw another wrench into the works is you could say Nashville, it's a wild card race.
Yeah, call it a wild card.
It is. It really is. And it's Newgarden's home race.
Yeah, I believe it was Mansell or PK, I forget who, but he did say your home race is worth a couple tenths of a second.
It could happen. Where has Newgarden finished there in the past? I know Dixon and Erickson have won the two races that have happened in Nashville, but the real question I would have is, where did Newgarden finish in the past?
I genuinely don't know.
We'll find it in 2 seconds. 6th last year.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
That's right. He walled somebody. I don't remember who it was, but he walled somebody.
Yeah, he did lead last year. I completely forgot about that. He led for a little while, and then he pitted late and was able to get a nice top 10. But, it's going to be hit or miss. But I'll be honest, I feel like after this weekend, we'll know. We'll know whether or not this is going to be a race to the finish or not. I think this weekend's make or break for it.
So who are we thinking for podium for IndyCar?
I was thinking about that.
Flo Rida's going to be at the race, so I'm going with Flo Rida as my number one.
Okay.
I think Newgarden will do it. I'm saying he's going to be number one. Then Dixon and Power. Okay. Uh-oh. I think we lost Mason.
Interesting.
Did we lose him? Where'd you go?
I think his power went out.
Well, what now?
Hold on. Did you die?
I don't know. Did you see? What was that?
It just all of a sudden said my browser had lost connection to everything. I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
I didn't even touch it. Gosh, what were we talking about, guys?
We were talking about our picks. So,
oh yeah. So before Chris can even get it in, because he was going to say, I'm picking Josef Newgarden to win. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
That was why I did that.
Yeah, sure.
It wasn't your evil plan
all along.
Oh man, this man. Anyway, so Mason, who are you thinking?
If I had to pick a podium, guys, I'm definitely gonna pick. Give me Alex Palou number 1, just to be the opposite here. Give me Alex Palou number 1. I think he wraps up the championship this weekend. I think Newgarden finishes 6th, and I think things. I didn't mean it that way. Jacob, don't look at me like that.
I don't think.
Whoa,
that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Whoa.
I'm just saying I think he makes it so that race between him and Newgarden's no longer much of a race.
Yeah.
The last few races. So I think he just pulls away. I'm not saying he's gonna clinch or anything. I'm just saying I think he pulls away a little bit. I think Newgarden has a rougher weekend. So I'm gonna go Palou. Give me Scott Dixon number 2, and go ahead and give me Marcus Ericsson number 3.
Ericsson.
He did win on the very first race.
He did. He definitely hasn't been, I would say, like, phenomenal this year, but I definitely could see him having a solid race weekend.
He was my preseason pick to win the championship.
I think a lot of people had him kind of pegged to be the champion kind of going into this year, and it just hasn't worked out exactly how he'd want to. He's sitting 147 points back from first place right now. So he's 4th in the standings, and it hasn't been a terrible year by all means, but I think one of the biggest blanks is going to be his finish at Mid-Ohio, where he finished like dead last. I mean, that's going to be the one that really kills him. That's the reason he's sitting behind Scott Dixon in the point standings right now. He's 27 back. That might Scott Dixon earned 41 points that weekend. So that's the difference between 3rd and 4th place right now on the point standings, Mid-Ohio.
And like what I said earlier a couple of weeks ago, Palou reminds me a lot of Max Verstappen with an easygoing personality.
All right, so my picks for the podium for Nashville: Marcus Ericsson for the win, Scott McLaughlin 2nd, and then Scott Dixon 3rd.
Okay.
I forgot about McLaughlin.
Everybody forgets about him. I don't know why.
Dang, I didn't see how close it was. So Ericsson's at 330, right? I said he's in 4th. 5th place, Scott McLaughlin, 329. 6th place, Pato O'Ward, 329. Gross.
Yeah, it's a tight battle.
It's hairy up there. Don't take
and
that.
Just to think that it was like that for first place a couple of years ago.
And now it's Alex.
Oh, how the times have changed. So, guys, those are our picks for Nashville in just a couple weeks. Hoping it's a great race.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
I'm always excited for IndyCar.
It should be a good race. We've got a lot to talk about with NASCAR. So let's jump into that real quick.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this most recent edition of the Outside Line podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to check us out on Spotify at The Outside Line. And if you liked Christopher, Jacob, and I's opinions, make sure to check us out on Bagsport's page for more articles and opinions about F1, NASCAR, and IndyCar. Thank you again for watching The Outside Line.